Aglorev Magazine Live is brought to you by
Verolga Leilani's Energy Exchange. Express yourself without saying a word.
and
Aglorev Entertainment. Mind, body, soul, energy healing.
Welcome, 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 ladies, gentlemen, and everyone in between. Grab your pillow, your favourite snack, and maybe a helmet, because we're about to dive headfirst into the launch of my very first volume of Aglorev Magazine Live. I'm so excited. I've been counting down the days, hours, and even the minutes like a kid waiting for Santa. But instead of gifts, I bring you my image, my voice, and some questionable life advice. Now, before you ask, yes, this magazine does come with a warning label. It says, caution, may cause uncontrollable laughter, spontaneous head nodding, and an urgent need to share with friends. And if you're wondering who I am, well, I'm Verolga Leilani, someone who firmly believes that life is way too long not to laugh at myself, and occasionally at others. So sit back, relax, and prepare for a launch so epic that even Elon Musk and the ladies of the Blue Origin are taking notes. Enjoy the show. We have no retrograde. The next one that's coming up is Pluto. We're going to talk about that a little bit later. Okay, for now, let's talk about this direct period. I'm looking back at myself at the end of 2024 when Pluto moved out of Capricorn and into Aquarius. And we had some end of the year shifts. Trying to make plans about my future and where I was going. I'm looking at her and I'm thinking, you kind of got it. You kind of had it, but not quite. You were almost there, but maybe just a little bit of tweaking. Now that all the planets are direct, I'm looking back at those plans and I'm like, actually, I think I got it. Actually, I think I can plan something. Actually, I think I understand. So take this time before May 4th and make a plan. This is the time of the year to make your plans to move forward. What do you want to do for the rest of the year? The beginning of 2026, we've got long-term harvest plans. We also have our first eclipse in Aquarius at the beginning of 2026 next year. So we're going to have a load of big changes at the beginning of 2026. Make sure that you are able to make your plans to get where you need to go. The North Node right now is in Pisces, which means we're supposed to be transitioning. We're not supposed to be staying in the same place right now. You're supposed to be making changes. We're supposed to be looking long term and saying, how can I make these changes and what is this going to look like? And it's going to feel a little strange because in the North Node is something we're not used to. We're uncomfortable with it. We don't know how to explain it. It's so high up in the sky. It's our purpose. It's our calling. It's our spiritual path. So our spiritual path, our spirit, is asking us to make this transition that we're not comfortable with and that we're not used to. You could look at your Pisces house in your chart. It'll tell you more on a personal level in your Neptune placement and 12th house. Those three things. And then when we get to the eclipse, that's in Aquarius in early 2026, we're going to start to feel the changes, rearranging and really bringing through some unexpected, unpredictable things. The path of the North Node is undeniable, triable, but undeniable. The thing that's in your heart, in your head, that's in your brain, that's in your spirit, that you can't explain. You need to go do that. That's what you need to go do. But you've got to figure out how to do it. So take the time till May 4th, whilst all the planets are direct, and further inspect. Go super detailed about it, because Saturn right now is also still in Pisces, which means that we have to be detailed about our transitions. We have to take the time, we have to put in the effort, And we have to be consistent. Right now is a time for game plans. Strategize, realize, look a little further, okay? Sometimes when the planets are direct, it's not always necessary to be making plans to move forward, because a lot of the times during the year, the planets are retrograde. We don't always have a lot of direct time with the planets, where everything is direct. So instead of trying to make a whole bunch of leaps and bounds whilst the planets are direct, and all of them are direct at the same time, just make sure that you have clear sight. Retrograde makes things a little fuzzy. We have to look back. We can't see everything clearly about the future. So since there's no retrograde, we can see very clearly right now where we're going and kind of what we want, as long as we look, because you have to look at it. If you don't look at it, you're not going to know. And then once you get the picture, the planets going into retrograde help things to rearrange so that your trajectory in that direction actually can succeed. If you're someone who has a load of retrogrades in your chart, you might actually get more done when the planets are retrograded than when the planets are direct. So make a personal note on how you work with the retrogrades. But also, before May 4th, make sure you have a clear picture out here and inside here about who you're going, where you're going for the rest of the year. And if you need help with that. Let's turn dating into a high-yield investment strategy. Rule number 1. Don't invest more than you're willing to lose in the discovery phase of early dating. We're in the due diligence phase. Do not pour in time, money, vulnerability before assessing return on investment. In this case, it could be emotional safety, consistency, value alignment. You want to treat your energy like capital, and do not invest until there's a proven growth trajectory. Rule number 2. Diversify your portfolio. Until someone has explicitly offered us a deal, aka a relationship, do not act like you've already merged. Talk to multiple people, learn your preferences, and observe patterns until it's time to lock in, consolidate, commit, and optimize that one investment. Rule number 3. Exit early when the fundamentals aren't sound. Core values don't align or the emotional books don't balance. Cut losses and leave early. Staying out of ego is a profit move. Happy investing. Would you go to space if money wasn't an issue? Several days ago, 6 high-profile women did just that on board Blue Origin flight funded by Jeff Bezos. Amongst them, Lauren Sanchez, Katy Perry, Gail King, and several scientists and activists. The mission's aim? To hold space for women in space. But not everyone was impressed. Critics like Olivia Munn and Emily Ratajkowski questioned the mission's timing and message, calling it tone-deaf in the face of global issues. The flight lasted just 11 minutes, reaching the edge of space before returning to Earth. Katy Perry sang a song in the air and then kissed the ground upon landing, and spoke of love and appreciation for the planet. Others, however, pointed out the environmental impact of space tourism, even as Blue Origin claims a cleaner footprint. The reaction is mixed at best. While intended as a celebration, some saw it as a misstep and a reminder that progress means more than just who gets a seat on the rocket. Pope Francis died at the age of 88 on April 21st. He advocated for social justice and the marginalized. He pressed for nuclear disarmament and the end of world wars in Sudan, Gaza, and Ukraine. After the Vatican announced Pope Francis had died, members of the Holy Family Church in Gaza gathered at the church to mourn and pray for someone who was not only the head of the major branches of Christianity, but who phoned them almost every night throughout the war around 7 or 8 p.m, according to the Vatican News Service. The head of the Catholic Church died following a life-threatening battle with respiratory ailments. His memorial service is set for Saturday morning, the 26th of April at 10 a.m. local time, 4 a.m. Eastern Standard Time in Rome. His body will be buried at Rome's Basilica at St. Mary Major in a simple wooden casket, per his request. President Donald Trump will be amongst the world leaders attending the funeral of Pope Francis. I'm sure he'll inspire a TikTok. Okay, so there are 3 relationships that we are going to analyse from this reality show. And for different reasons. We are going to analyse Cynthia and Stein. We are going to analyse Athena and Nick. And I'm just going to call her Athena because the other one never really made an appearance. So there's only one really Athena in there. Nick, or Doodles as he calls himself. And then I threw in Spencer because he's just adorable. I find him very endearing, and I have to go back and binge watch The Hills because apparently he's a villain. So I do reserve my final judgment on him, but for the purpose of his appearance on this particular show, that is what we are going to talk about. Okay. Now, for Stein and Cynthia, first of all, I do believe that they are both alchemists. Their relationship is actually not for the red flags. Theirs is actually for the example of what healthy and, we'll just leave it at healthy, looks like. Cynthia is an alchemist, whether she realizes it or not. She analyzed them all. She read their energy. She understood what she needed. She understood what she needed to do. She created that reality. And even though she almost doubted herself, she calmed herself with the assurance that Stein gave her. That balance, that specific balance, demographically actually, is a very powerful combination. Because you have the white male, which has the power of the 3D, and then you have the black female, which has the power of the 5D. So theoretically, that combination would be incredibly powerful in many energetic manifestation, alchemist type things. So the fact that they succeeded does not surprise me. And it was beautiful to watch, actually. And his honour, even coming from a lower class, was amazing. And her coming from a higher class and him giving her the money still. Like it was just, I mean, people say these things are scripted, but it was beautiful, you know. And we're going to sneak in Spencer because he had a relationship just with this t-shirt, which was his wife, which I thought was absolutely adorable. And he made me a fan of him just because of that and how proud. And he has come up recently on my TikTok feed, and him and Heidi and them at Coachella, and how he is so enamored and he's so supportive and he's not threatened by his success. It's beautiful to watch. So the fact that he was called a villain, I need to go back and binge watch The Hills to find out his origin story. But I do believe that he is a great representation of a balance of masculine, feminine energy and resting healthy in his masculine energy. He is a high value man and supportive and protects, professes and provides. He shows a lot of qualities of what you would need in a healthy relationship. So I'm going to binge watch The Hills and come back and give my final decision, but he is also no red flags. Okay, I just wanted to highlight those 2 relationships to give an example of what is possible, what is actually out there if you pick the right SP. Then we have what is also out there, which unfortunately happens to be more on the streets, because they are the ones that are out, and the nice ones may have been hurt and stay at home, or they have to get out because they're working, or they have things to do, so you're not going to find them out as much. So you're going to come into contact more readily with the doodles. Doodles? Yeah, doodles. Yeah, Nick. Okay. First, let's start with the balance of energy. Athena was way too eager, and it made his energy less believable, because you have to have a balance. Now, in my opinion, Doodles Nick is on the DL, because a lot of things that he did made my DAR go off. And if you want me to do a series on the signs of how to tell if a fella's DL, let me know, because I have loads of information on that one. But yeah, the fact that he even admitted to the calculated moves that he was doing in regards to Athena, and how a lot of his emotional outbursts were strategized and not authentic, and the fact that he was surprised that she was even interested in him, and that he seemed a bit awkward. And that awkward stingray tattoo, what's that about? That's got to be something to do. Yeah, I don't know. But anyway, the balance, but ironically, I don't know if ironic is good use in this term, but Athena is incredibly smart for being a slight train wreck. She has just a few, just to bring back that eagerness just a little bit. She's probably been hurt, which is probably why she is that eager, but he was no prize to be that eager over. Flirt the same with all fellas, regardless of what they look like, what status they are, anything like that. Flirt the same, stoic, balanced. You need to keep your energy stoic, balanced. Do not be too eager. It pushes them away. Okay? And if you need me to make a video on that as well. But yes, stoicism, practice it. Be calm, be reserved. The fact there were so many warning signs with their relationship, with Nick's behaviour, with his choices, with how quickly, I mean, I know in reality shows they say a day is like a week, but there were just some movement inconsistencies that happened, and then once he blew up, yeah. So, the red flags of Nick.
Love bomb. Ignore your boundaries. Inconsistent behavior. Lack of trust in you. Short temper.
Yeah.
Early excessive compliments.
The red flags
Words
of
and
Nick.
actions don't align. Relevant secrets.
Now, it was good that she was smart, and it was good that she, like the crying scene, that was ridiculous. That was uncomfortable to watch. But yeah, I'm very proud that she has a good head on her shoulders. She just has to bring down that eagerness. And yeah. Now, there's one final cast member I do want to talk about. And I do want to say, Omarosa, I'm a big fan. If you need a matchmaker, let me know. I already have an idea of what your type is. And I have a feeling you're very keen. So yeah, check out my website. I got you. Big fan. Love you. And I was able to, I kind of know one of the cast members, so I was able to get a look at the house. So I was so excited. This is the first reality show that I wanted to feature. So thank you for tuning in to my first volume ever of Aglorev magazine live. I love you so much. Stay tuned. Cheers. It's been a bit bumpy. It is my first edition, but it will get better as they go. Thank you so much. Cheers.
And check out the latest from Aglorev Entertainment for all of your level up needs.